Recently, Alcina revealed to the world that he was involved in a relationship with Jada while she was still married. And even though statements were released denying the affair, Pinkett Smith is now reluctantly confirming that the relationship did indeed exist.
It's a situation that I considered private.
You just feel like it ain't really nobody's business.
Yeah.
But now Black Twitter has claimed it as their business.
During the 12-minute Red Table Talk episode, Jada sat down with Will to explain how she met August 4.5 years ago. But the friendship didn't turn into something more until she and Will were ready to call it quits.
You and I were going through a very difficult time.
Yeah.
And we decided.
I was done with your ass.
Yeah, you kicked me to the curb.
I was done with you.
Yeah.
Marriages have that, though. Marriages have that.
Yeah, we broke up.
And then what did you do, Jada?
Well, I think from there, as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August.
Yes, we know entanglement is vague as hell, but thankfully, Will pressed her to be more clear.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship.
Yes, it was a relationship. Absolutely.
We also got clarity on the misconception that Will gave August permission to sleep with his wife.
The only person that can give permission in that particular circumstance is myself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But what August was probably trying to communicate, because I could actually see how he would perceive it as permission, because we were separated amicably. And I think he also wanted to make it clear that he's not on record.
Now, if you're like us, you're probably wondering why August? Well, we'll let Jada explain.
I just wanted to feel good. It had been so long since I felt good.
Hello.
And it was really a joy to just help heal somebody.
Eventually, August broke things off and they haven't really talked since. And the Smiths claim they are now stronger than ever.
Ride together.
We die together.
Bad marriage for life.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Hey, y'all.
Hey,
thank you guys so much. So, if you're not in here yet, you should be. It's us. It's Pastor G.
Yeah.
Pastor me. We are spiritual relationship counselors. We are veterans of the United States Air Force, and we're your go-to couple for all things relationship. We are talking tonight, y'all. We've got to discuss this. Hey, Kimmy, thank you for joining. There is Miss Tanya, Blinkologist King. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for sharing and inviting the people. You all know we have been talking about, we've been ruminating on this thing called cheating. That's right. Because we have to deal with it. We're on part number 4, and it's been really good. I mean, I'm just really blown away. This stuff writes itself. Yeah. It really does. We talked about John, an inventor. 10 years married. And listen, we're not putting nobody on Front Street. It's already out here, right? 10 years married. He had a quote unquote emotional affair, right? And then we talked about, who is this? Monique and Sydney. Monique and Sydney, thank you. You shared it to the Red Table Talk page. They have an open marriage. And so we talked about how these things, sometimes it becomes so convoluted. It becomes so, what do we put it as our status? It's complicated. Yes. Hey, Natasha, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Great day, beautiful couple. Oh, thank you so much. All right. We talked about them. And tonight we had no choice, right? We didn't have a choice. We had to discuss this thing called entanglements. What exactly is an entanglement? How is it that we find ourselves in these spaces, in these places? And so we've been dealing with this thing. Last week when we came together we talked about why cheaters cheat. And on our page on Marriage Makes 3, can you replay that video? No sound before? Did anybody else get the sound? Was there someone else that didn't get sound? Please let us know. All right. We talked about why it is, hey, Marta the Smarter, why it is that cheaters cheat. Number one, we went through the 6 things that, and we realized that some folks is just straight up hoes and hoe-mongers, and it is what it is.
The job.
Right? Right?
Hey.
Okay, and tonight we want to talk about these 9 things that you can look for when you're talking about if a person is a cheater. Now, there are some folks out here that are serial cheaters.
Yeah.
Okay, serial cheaters, hey, unstable soul. And because of them being serial cheaters, it's hard for you to it's hard for you to believe anything that they said, right? So here's the thing. Now, we talked about this. Now, Pastor G and I, y'all know we've been together 14, 15 years. We haven't always been married to each other, and we get it. We understand. Just because we're pastors don't mean that we ain't been out here in these streets. We got to counsel with y'all. And listen, sometimes we got to counsel with ourselves, Lord. Because let me tell you something. We have to remember that just because a person got married to someone, it doesn't mean that now their eyes don't work. Because some of us have it twisted. We thinking that, hey, after we come together, after I get that ring on it, after
I'm going blind. And it's the same context when people say that they're colorblind.
Come on, sir.
How does that work?
The truth.
How does that work? You live in America, you live in an age, a media age, where there are stereotypes that are ingrained from the time that we are from the time we're born.
Yes.
There are stereotypes that are put out, there are negative things that are put out about people.
Absolutely.
You can't tell me that those things are not in your tapes,
True.
On your tape,
True
so
that.
to speak.
True that.
In your mindset. Now, whether you act out of them, and that's the thing. So you can have those things without and decide consciously that I'm not going to act out of all those prejudices.
That's right.
Here's the thing. King David, there was nothing wrong with a glance.
Right.
There was nothing intentionally. God gave us eyes, and we're going to see things, and we're going to see beauty. And we established that one of the most beautiful things that God ever made was a woman.
All right.
Right. And so we're going to see beauty, but if we continue to look, and that was King David's issue. Is that he continued to look, and the more he looked, the more beautiful she became. More beautiful she became.
The more desirable.
Until he decided, I have to have her.
I gotta get it.
And so once he got it, the next thing was murder. So nothing starts off. I don't say that we start off with the intent, unless you're a serial cheater.
Okay.
I don't believe a person starts off with the intention.
That's right.
Of cheating, right?
Because, honey, when we are counseling with couples and there's dealing with infidelities, there's always this little bit, and then it goes a little further, and then it goes, hey, bird, turn.
Gets complicated.
Yes.
And before you long, you're in time. Listen, there was a song, and I don't know how many of you remember it. Isaac Hayes wrote a song in the 70s. It was called "I Stand Accused," right? And it was a cheating song.
Okay.
And he said, it's like quicksand. I know you're John's girl. I heard you're John's girl, but I just had to tell you. Wow. He said, now it's like quicksand. The more and I keep trying myself that she's John's girl, but the more you struggle, the deeper you sink. So it's a classic song about how this thing works. Is that man, she's beautiful.
That's my song.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, when we're in church, we say stuff like this, that sin will take you further than you wanted to go, keep you longer than you wanted to stay, and cost you more than what you wanted to pay. And that is so true, even when you're talking about infidelity, when we're dealing with cheating. And someone said this just on Marriage Makes 3 on Instagram, our page, Marriage Makes 3 _. If you're not following, follow us over there. They said that one of the things, it was our post, and I can't remember exactly what the post says now, but one thing now that you're married that you found that is hard. And he said this, that now that I'm a husband, realizing that, how did he say it? that one's a cheater, always a cheater, can kind of come back. And, you know, sometimes it can try to bite you in the butt because people don't feel like a person can change. And we need you to know that even if you have dealt with infidelity, even though the person in your life has some issues, it doesn't mean that they can't change. If they want to change, they can, but they've got to want to do it. And so we want you, wherever you are in the world, wherever you are in the relationship, to know that we are here for you. First and foremost, we're here Tuesday through Thursday, giving these tools and tips that's going to help you. One of the things that we have available to you guys, and I just want to show it to you all quickly, that you can go over tonight and get it. It is called The State of the Marriage Address. It's a free download for you. You can find it at marriagemakes3.com. And there, what you're going to do is you're going to pretty much like triage your relationship. You're going to ask yourself the hard questions, right? And then at the end, you get to tally and see where we are. Are we good where we're at? Or maybe we need to do a little something different. Maybe there's some changes that need to take place, because you guys know that when your money is funny and your change is strange, when ain't nobody talking,
nobody listening.
Listen, y'all, and if you ain't getting none, so your balls is blue. You said your balls are blue.
Your V is blue. Your heart is blue, and you're wondering in your mind, and you start to fantasize and wonder
and find yourself in places.
You find yourself in quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper
you get. She Tanya said, "That's my song." My aunt Kim says, and her husband, when they go on vacation, they take pictures of their eye candy, and they are happily married. Oh my goodness. Hey, Terry, thank you for coming on in tonight. Lord, I'm taking it back. Isaac Hayes, come on.
Lily,
thank you so much. Found y'all on IG. Thank you so much. We're still over there. No, she didn't say blue balls. Lord, I'm dead. Well, it's a real condition, Terry. Listen, we're going to keep it real, because too many times what y'all have thought is that, I'm not on the pulpit today, right? We're in a forum. We can talk, we can dialogue, we can make sure that people know the truth, because the Bible even tells us that when you know the truth will make you free. But here's a thing I like to add, the caveat, that you can know the truth, but still be bound. The truth that you accept and you act on is going to make you free. Right?
Embrace it. I'm going to live
on that. Marta the Smarter says, yep, your past can rear up against you, and if you are the same, you will do the same dirt. It's so true. It's so true. Right?
So you gotta get some help, and that's why we're here, folks. It's not easy to talk about this. It's not easy to listen. If you're the person who is cheating or has cheated, you're probably not gonna be very comfortable listening.
But it is what it is.
If you're the person who's enduring somebody who has cheated once, twice, you may not feel very good listening.
Right.
But one of the things that people who have gone through it and come out on the other side realize that I have to open my eyes. I have to recognize the sign. I've dealt with it, and I'm the better for it. And so you can be there.
It's something about when you accept and acknowledge the things that your part in it, because a lot of times what we do is we can blame other folk, but when it comes down to it, we have to take our part of it. No marriage, no breakup is 100% somebody's fault. Okay, sometimes y'all, you may only have 1% and the other person has 99%. Okay, let's just keep it keep it funky, but we have to understand that there's some things that we can do for ourselves, because sometimes we stay somewhere longer than we needed to stay. Sometimes the Lord is trying to tell you to run, Forrest, and you sitting up in there talking about, well, I don't know. I didn't hear the gun go off first. You know, the starting gun at the line. I didn't hear it go off, so I'm just gonna stay right here and see. And you're upside down in your relationship.
And sometimes people are feeling, well, at least she's not bothering me right now. So, you know, you give kind of a pseudo permission to, you know, go ahead and play around out there. And before you know long, you're in an entanglement. So we don't want that for you. Marta said, that's why MM3 works for me. Thank you, Marta.
Works for me too. Listen, y'all, these tools that we're sharing with you guys, we use them.
That's right.
Okay, we're not gonna give you medicine that ain't gonna work for us. Because if it ain't working for me, then I don't know that it's gonna do anything for you. Exactly. I mean, like my Tava, for example. I'm gonna take my Tava. I'm gonna take my VIA 30 because I need my immune system to be up. I need to have feeling. I had to lose some of these poundages, right? And so I can say to somebody else, get you some of this. It's gonna help you, right? But if it's not working for me, I'm not gonna tell you nothing about it. Other than that stuff don't work. All right. Marta says, my husband was recently falsely accused of things he used to do. However, because of our MM3 counseling, I trust my husband. However, I did verify.
Marta.
Girl, that part. Yes, ma'am.
But verify. That's Ronald Reagan right
era babies. Yes. Terry said, I was just going to say that knowing the truth and applying the truth are two different things.
Absolutely.
It's the whole truth.
Absolutely.
He said poundages, Lord, I can't. Hey, the poundage, listen, after you get to be a certain age, it's like stuff starts shifting and it don't want to go nowhere. And so I said, we got to do something. And my good old VIA 30, my Vacia, my detox tea, all of this stuff is just working for me, baby. So I'm here for it. MM3 worked and is still working for me. Thank you, Kim. Appreciate y'all. So guys, listen, if you're in here and you haven't shared this, you haven't invited somebody, go ahead and do it. If you need spiritual relationship counseling, before I do, you need premarital, you need postmarital. Listen, we've got a whole new product on our website. If you hadn't gone to see it yet, then you're missing out, especially if you are talking about getting married soon. Okay, we've got several things over there for you, some downloads, some amazing information that is going to help you to get your relationship on and popping. So tonight, as we're talking about the cheating chronicles and talking about entanglement, I noticed that when they were sitting at the table, it was very intense. And I noticed that Will, God bless him, he sat there and he took it, but you could see that there was a pained look on him. Right? Here's the thing. I need you guys to understand, because there's some women and some men that when they have had an affair, quote unquote, with someone a long time ago, right? And then their spouse somehow comes up on the information, and now their spouse is rearing mad. They are 430 hot as fish grease, right? And they're sitting up there saying, well, that was 10 years ago. That was 4 years ago. It doesn't matter.
That's right. It's
when I hear, to me, it just happened last night. And I'm starting to look at you strange now. What?
And you know, and very often people they feel like, okay, I have healed. I went through the healing process. Through it,
right?
But you've gone through it.
Exactly.
And not only did you cheat, but you denied me an opportunity to be part of
and to the decision-making process. Do I want to stay with your cheating? Okay. You heard what Will said, right? Will said, well, I was done with your that back in that we were separated. We said that we didn't want to do this no more. And so here's the issue, is that until it's completely severed, there's still the opportunity for feelings to get involved, for people to get hurt. Terry said Will had that. What in the hell entanglement? The heck is an entanglement? Yes. Did you see that?
Clarify, lay it out. Say it. Use your words. Use words that I understand. You know, and it's funny. George Carlin was a white comedian. Very, very popular, super smart guy. I mean, one of the smartest people that I've known. But he said that, and please pardon me, I'm going to use the words that he used. He said, white people, as long as white people have been around, they have used words to cover up their sins, have been able to manufacture words to cover up their sins. These are not white people, but they have learned in Hollywood to use words to cover up
the stuff. Yes, it's very true. And listen, we do it all the time. People do it all the time. Like, for example, we say stuff like, well, they were sleeping together, knowing good and full well that there was no sleeping being taken place in the bed in which they laid. All right. Do you understand?
Indiscretion.
The words that are coming out of my mouth. Chris Tucker, greatest line ever. Yes. He smoked weed, so you have to listen hard to get the meaning.
Oh my God.
Lily is cracking up. Listen, let me tell y'all something. When you are dealing with this, I know we're talking and we're laughing and it's funny and all that, but people's hearts come involved.
Yeah.
And even in a place where someone says that we're in an open relationship, remember last week we were talking about Monique and Sydney? They're in an open relationship. But at the beginning of what she started talking about, she said the reason that she calls him daddy. Okay, I ain't talking about Zaddy. I'm talking about I call him daddy. And it's not because I'm calling him Big Daddy because, you know, that's what he is to me like that. She calls him daddy. She said out of her own mouth, it is because he does stuff for me. He has taught me things that my natural father never had. And I need you all to understand that sometimes we have generational trauma that we're dealing with. We've got childhood adverse events that has happened in our lives. And so we grow up with this stuff inside of us.
Yeah.
And if we never heal from it, what we end up doing is we start perpetrating that same cycle all over again in a different context. I wasn't with daddy the way I was supposed to be. So now I'm with a man that is supposed to act like my father. Now, most women don't want you acting like they dad.
That's right.
Come on.
Now, what happens is that people become traumatized, and a very key truth, I think a truth that is really key to this.
Okay.
She said between 7 and 11, she was sexually abused.
Right.
And then when you add that to how she feels about daddy,
yes,
then you know the source of the abuse.
Well,
right? How can you teach someone something when you are the source of their problem? And so what happens is that we begin to, our view of the world gets a little bit warped. You know,
it's true.
I'm not saying she's there's mental illness, but I'm saying that the view
we start looking
of
at
the world, God bless her, absolutely, is a little bit warped. So you're calling someone who is about her brother, pardon me, but still someone close.
Yeah.
And the one who should have been protector. Thank you for that, honey. So it was her brother that did the abuse. But when daddy doesn't protect her, guess what? A lot of that, the onus, the responsibility for that becomes his.
And her father was a drunk. Oh my goodness, Kim telling us her father was a drunk. So we're dealing with all of this.
So there's a little warped sense of self.
Yeah, very true.
And when my sense of self is warped, that I would settle for something that is a chronic cheater.
Yes.
Ooh. As long as
manipulator.
There is something manipulating, controlling.
And I've been listening to some of the stuff, and it's almost like she's losing parts of herself, you know. And I hate that for any woman. This is why we say you've got to be whole and complete before you come together with someone, because they're not here to complete you. God put you here to be 100% whole, complete, and fulfilled before you ever get a spouse. And listen, everybody don't want a spouse. Right? And so don't look for something to plug the hole. And that's what we do. We medicate sometimes. We didn't get the love that we needed when we were young. So now we're looking in the arms of a man or a woman, sometimes both. The wrong place. Right? In order to fulfill the longings of our heart. And God wants us to know that He is the void filler of void fillers. He put a God space hole in us, and it's consistently going after something until we can find Him. But listen, in our relationships down here on this earth, there are certain things that we have to begin to realize, that there may be some patterns that we have developed. There may be some proclivities that we have, that we find ourselves doing the same circle over and over. We've got to find the area, break the circle so that we can move forward. A husband or a wife, like we say, is a nicety, not a necessity. And so you have to know who you are. You have to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. You've got to know who and what God called you to be, because sometimes, y'all, a person will come. Look at Monique. Monique is a strong woman. She's got a very strong voice. Her spirit, you know, all of that. And then when she is almost reduced to a child, because you got to look now. We've talked about this before as well, how we view our relationships. Are we in this marriage, in this relationship, like brothers and sisters? Are we in it like parent and child? There's different aspects.
Yeah.
Are we doing it like a subordinate to a superior? How are we looking at this thing?
Yeah. And if we can go back to them for a second, there's a moment in the video when he is facing this direction and she's talking directly to the camera, but he's facing away from her.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's a camera,
right,
but he's facing away from her. So the posture of a person can tell you a lot about
what's going
where they are.
It's true.
Okay?
It's
now,
true.
It doesn't answer all of the questions.
Right. But
I would ask, look, why are you facing that direction? Your wife is over here pouring her heart out.
Yeah.
And she's talking about you, Daddy.
You crazy daddy.
You know? And, you know, and so there are some things, follow the money.
Follow the money. Hi, Dr. Enchanta. The Lord bless you, woman of God. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. So listen, guys, Kim says, I love Monique. So I know her story. He was her high school sweetheart who came back in her life after she became famous. He has made her lose a lot of money because people don't want to deal with him. And it's true. I've been listening to some of the interviews by some of the people that is in their circle, and he has absolutely been one of those people that are now managing her. They called him a husbander. When you put a husband and a manager together.
Yeah.
And I remember another couple, Vince and Tamar. Remember, he was her manager, and she found some issues with that as well. Good hair, good body. She was like, wait a minute, you're putting everybody else out there. But when it comes to me and my career, you're holding back on what I got going on. And so sometimes, y'all, we've got to separate some things. The business from listen, and I'm not saying that it's wrong to do it that way, but you've got to know the relationship. And if the relationship isn't strong enough to combat all the pressures of work, all the expectations, and you know, because I'm like this, Vince, you should be able to just put me out of record and everything, because everything you do touches, turns to gold.
And if the only reason that you're here is to manage my money,
right.
So in other words, if I tell you, look, I'm getting a business manager who's going to handle the money side of things. Well, you don't trust me. Are you still going to be here?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And if the answer is I'm not going to be here, you don't need to be here anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
It's true.
So
it's true.
You know,
it's
so
true.
There's some things that she really needs to look at before it goes
and
too
we've
far.
Seen so much of this. Here's the issue: is that a lot of times, and I dropped something in the love seat. If y'all not a part of that, come on in and be a part of the love seat. Check the link in the bio, and you'll be able to see. This is our group. There's some shenanigans that go on in there at times. You know, we haven't been as active in there as we would like. There's been a lot going on. Okay, and I dropped something in there because a good friend of mine, he made a post, and he does blogging and stuff. And the things that he said in that particular post, I said, I got to share this in the love seat, because a lot of people feel like traditionally in religious circles that the man is the head of the woman because the scripture says things in a certain way. And so we have to look at the whole, we have to look at the whole load. Pastor Jeff, one time he was preaching, he said, we got to look at the pretext, the post-text, so that we can get the context. Okay. Courtney. Hey, darling.
Hello.
Love you, sweetheart. Appreciate you, sweetie. Right? And so here's the thing. The husband and a wife, they're the same. Hey, Brother Denton, Lord bless you, sir.
Hello.
Husbands and wives are the same. We're all made of spirit, soul, and body. And so we both have intellect. We both have knowledge. We both have proclivities. We both have passions. And so we can't say that that man has to make all of the decisions. What happens, y'all, when, let's see, the husband is incapacitated and he can no longer be the quote unquote protector and provider? So what happens then? Does he lose his status as being a male, as being a husband, as being a father? Does he lose that status because he's incapacitated? And does a woman now, outside of her role, quote unquote, and this is why we talk about the dating funnel. Where are you at what kind of marriage do you believe that you want to be in? And we're not saying that if you want a traditional marriage, that anything is wrong with that. That is absolutely up to you, baby. But we found out after all of these years of being married that we were one instead of the other. We're saying the one. And I think a lot of us in Christendom, we have been saying for a long time, this is the type of marriage that we're having. But in actuality and in reality, we're doing something totally different. But we never knew what to call it because religion has taught us one way and we think that's it. When Joseph, if y'all didn't know, Joseph, Mary and Joseph, their real names is Miriam and Joseph. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. When Joseph was about to put away Mary, right? God spoke to Mary. He didn't ask Joseph no permission. He didn't ask him if it was okay that, you know, that the Spirit of God would overshadow his wife and have a child with her. Never asked him a question. It wasn't even his business at that point. She said, yes, Lord, let it be unto me as you have said. So her head is God. Because what if your husband is crazy? What you gonna do then? You gonna still talking about, well, I'm gonna leave the decisions to him? There, she said, we are traditionally untraditional. Come through here now. Listen, Kim said that's a whole nother issue. Tamar didn't want to sign her contracts for him to manage her at the time. He was Tony's manager then. She felt he was her husband. He should do stuff because she was his wife. Well, I mean, you know, it's the truth. If you married to me and you getting all the cookies and stuff from the house, blank, blank, right? Shouldn't you be making sure my stuff is straight? I just thought that's the way that it worked. I'm always going to be, what did Will and Jada said? Bad marriage for life. We in it ride or die, right? Wow. And so here's the thing. We've got to move past all of the mess, the junk, the things that other people think. You know, if I have a job and I'm making 6 figures and my husband is not making 6 figures and I've got the good insurance, I got the health benefits, I got all of that, then why in the world am I going to put somebody in a box and tell them, oh, that man, he need to be the one to be going to work? Listen, we're doing things a whole different way, and we have to learn the context. We have to come together, sit down with the couple and see what you guys want, because that's how you're going to live your everyday. All right. So 9 signs you're a cheater. We talked about entanglements. Let me see the number 1, you guys, there in the chat. Number 1. An entanglement, honey. And I could see it was almost like a spear went through his heart.
He's a
what? An entanglement. What are you talking about? What are we saying right now? Right? Because when it's new to you, it's like heresy. And that's what heresy is. It's a different thought. Even when I said, y'all think that the man is the head, y'all already was like,
I'm gonna try to make this go smooth.
Okay.
And if I can get it in there just right, he won't say nothing. He won't ask no questions.
You don't know Will. Will is like,
Will is from West Philadelphia, for real.
Born and raised. He blinked and looked like an entanglement. What is that? It was like, okay, I feel like a spear went through my heart, but I'm not sure if I'm really hurt. Did it really hit me, or is my vest, is my flak vest holding back, or did it really connect? I don't know. He looked hurt. And she looked, Jada is something else. She looked like, well, shoot, dude, we wasn't even together, so I don't know why you tripping.
And what's funny about that, and you putting the ones, I see a 1, I see 1, I see a 1.
Thank you so much.
Give me some 1s. One of the things that stands out, Will, you all know Will. Will is not an ugly guy. He's grossed these huge box office hits.
You got the cash.
And just a classy kind of guy.
True.
And for him to respond that way suggests that he probably turned down some opportunities. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? There's no doubt that in Hollywood, men and women, women and men, have probably laid themselves at his feet. Right?
Oh my.
But that kind of suggests to me that he has not fallen for that.
Oh my.
I have been turning everything down.
And you had an entanglement.
So tell the truth, shame the devil.
I see what's going on.
All right.
I'm finna call Uncle Phil. You know, I mean, ain't Phil. I'm finna tell on you. I mean, it's hurtful. I don't care. And listen, even if you don't want to be with the person no more, it's still, it has this, it's almost like, you know, when a small child is sucking a lollipop, or they're eating a cracker, and they done had it in their hand, they done dropped it on the floor, they done picked it up, there's hair on it, there's dust bunnies all around it, and they come up to you with and put it
in your mouth. Oh baby, I'm full. I'm full as a tick. All right. So here's the thing. You have to be whole.
Yeah.
You need to be whole. You have to be whole. I don't care what you're going through. You need to be whole.
Yes.
And one of the things that she kept emphasizing was, I wanted to feel good again.
Yeah.
And feeling good about yourself, that's an inside job.
It is.
And no matter how many guys you have thrown themselves at you, women throwing themselves at you, no matter how much money you have, if you don't have it in your heart, you know, if your happiness is not on the inside, it's going to be tough.
It is.
Okay, so he has been unfaithful.
Very faithful.
Oh, wow.
He's been very faithful. But at one time, people thought they were in an open marriage, but they denied it. She has been rumored August wasn't the only one. I don't know about all that. That's that. She said, I just didn't feel like it was anybody's business.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting up here like, girl, he said, but then Black Twitter got a hold to it.
You are in public.
He said Black Twitter got it, and that's it. It's a wrap, baby. Everybody needs to know. And here's the thing. Even though it's something very private, even though it was whether it was a mistake and she's saying that, like you said, she wanted to feel good, and I understand that. I get it. And when you are in a relationship where you're consistently feeling low, feeling less than, you're feeling not valued, you're feeling disrespected, at some point or another, you know, we talked about the perfect storm. How the wind and the wave will get in the right place, right position.
You two are not getting along, so he's not sowing those things to tell you that you know, that you're beautiful and that you are adored and you're appreciated and respected.
All of that.
Yeah.
And then some dude, you know, that might be 10 years younger or 10 years older, that's been out here at the gym every day. He's an Insta model. Right? He'd come around licking his lips. August made a song called Entanglements after that. Listen.
Marketing.
Listen, Dr. Enchanta said, my business started when my thoughts and vision became one with my husband's. Yes. Amen. Because you're working against each other, right? Mental health being good is very important. And it is. It absolutely is. And so when you're having this negative self-talk, he don't really love me, because if he did this, if he did, he would do this. If he did, and it's all on the other person. But we have to come and realize that inside of us, that there's got to be a connection, number one, with God, and then we have to connect with ourselves. Yeah. And let me tell you something, ladies. I saw this meme a while ago, said that if a woman leaves you for herself, oh, she gone, baby.
She ain't coming back.
She gone. She'll post it in the group. Thank you so much. Flee from the devil. That gym guy is not all that.
Come on, Dr. Enchanta.
Dr. Enchanta, you're right. But see, here's the thing. The enemy is a great deceiver. And just like King David sitting on top of the palace, looking down and seeing a beautiful woman, all of a sudden, you know, first of all, number one, he wasn't where he was supposed to be, because the Bible talks and says that at the times when kings were off to war, David was at home. Where are you supposed to be? What are you supposed to be doing? And if you are outside of the realm, if you are outside of the realm of who you are, what God called you to be, and what he called you to do, then we've got a problem, Houston. And this is where we talk about that perfect storm, where all the things align up together. He's not doing right. I'm feeling disrespected. I'm feeling some kind of way. My blood sugar might even be low. And somebody walking around licking their lips.
Don't know if he want to be.
I'm licking my lips. You see what I'm saying? He was being a peeping Tom. Okay. And so this is why we have to know who we are. And this is why we have to work inside the relationship. If you're not working together on the relationship consistently, listen, there's things that try to creep in, period. So number one, when we're talking about 9 signs of a cheater, one of the things that you need to look for is when you're dealing with strict calling hours and rules. You can only call me after 9 on Friday. What's happening after 9 on Friday? You see what I'm saying? Everything is, I can't talk right now, just text me. And so you're wondering to yourself, well, is this something that's really going on? Is he just, listen, there's this dude my daughter sent me, and we're going to talk about this as well. There's this dude right now. They've got a chart out all day.
Excuse me, honey.
The dude, his name is Jason Collier, right? Dr. Enchanta says, stay in the fence of protection. Yeshua, Christ, God, love, and beautiful marriage or relationship. Amen. That's what we want, but we got to work on it. This dude's name is Jason Collier. We're going to talk about him. We'll probably talk about him tomorrow. Jason Collier has like 2 wives, 3 fiancés, and probably 10 girlfriends. This dude is not only a fire chief, okay? I read this and I cracked up. He's a fire chief, right? A police chief, excuse me. He is a Texas, you know, they do it all big in Texas. He was doing it super big. He's a Texas police chief and a minister. He got 2 wives, 3 fiancés, girlfriends galore. He ain't cheating. He got a whole family, wife and kids. If he's got you on a strict calling regimen, you are a side chick. Yes. You got to look for the signs. And especially, here's the thing. For the most part, when you've got a serial cheater, it's usually a dude. I don't know what that's about. We're coming around. The ladies are coming around the bend, but we're still out here doing too much. All of us, right? We have to check it out. Can I only call you on Saturday at such a time, or am I only receiving calls at certain times of the day or at night? Listen, if you only getting phone calls after 10 and 11 at night, I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need you to know, Susie, that you are probably the side chick. I'm just saying that he may be married somewhere. And listen, this is another thing that we need to learn how to check. Y'all ladies, go to the courthouse. Marriage and divorce records are public records. And you can find the information and you can check on these folks, because some of these jokers is out here, and the women are doing it now too, where she said those are booty call hours. Yes, exactly. We're out here doing too much. He has many jobs in rotation. Come on. We're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing the other, but we're not doing the right thing. And this is another thing that I talk about. You know, when people are in your inbox trying to scam you, like, you could probably get the cure for cancer, the cure for Alzheimer's, if you would put that same energy that you got towards scamming people and stealing stuff from people into something good. Imagine how beautiful the world would end up being. But no, you want to do the wrong thing instead of the right thing. And so when we're dealing with this, now you're a police chief and you're a minister. But you out here got all of these women, public records, check on that ninja or that chick. Yes, okay, do it. I'm telling you, it's not prying. You just need to know the truth. Yeah. If you have any suspicion at all whatsoever, y'all, let me see those number 2s there in the chat. Honey, when some dude want to give me that number and it's his mama's phone number, She'll answer the phone and give it to him. It's like, wait a minute, what's going on? Oh my, and got an excuse for everything. We're going into this. We're gonna get past some of this. She said lies from the book of lies. Yes. Somebody asked the question, the next time your man says he doesn't have time for you, remind him Jason Collier was juggling being a police chief, had a wife, 4 kids, a ministry, a Pinterest page, 2 fiancés, 2 coffee pots, and 17 girlfriends. What do you mean you don't have time to be with me? Okay, thank you, Marta. Marta says, don't forget to share. Tell someone to come on in. This is good, and I need you all to understand. People are dealing with this on a regular basis, and some of them don't even realize that that's what they're dealing with. Here's number 2. After strict calling hours and rules, you've got unconventional hours. Oh, I work. my job takes me all the way over, all across the country, and so by the time I fly in on the red eye, the only time that I can come and see you is 1 o'clock in the morning, or 3 or 4 a.m. And I got to get up to go because, I'm going to have to go. I got to get my car together, and I got to drive to go. And the stories just keep coming. Josh says, a friend tried to put me on a call regimen because her husband would argue and fight when the calls showed up on the bill. My Lord, that friendship ended. Yeah. She married the idiot. I didn't. You ain't putting me on no schedule. Plus, she wanted me to call so she didn't have to. Wow. Listen. Wow. You see that right there, that is a recipe for disaster. Flags. That's a recipe for disaster. If he is in that place where he's checking phone logs and records and all of this, either she had been doing something and he caught her and he ain't trusting her, or he might be a little Tommy, you ain't got no job. Marta said, Tommy, you ain't got no job. Y'all, let me see those number 3s. Kim says a lot of these moms will protect their sons in the lot. Ooh, child. Yeah. Especially if they don't like the wife or girlfriend. I know it. It is the whole 100% true, 1,000% true. And I think they're wrong. I think they're complicit. I think that they need to tell their son or their daughter, whomever the case may be, that I am not going to be the patsy for your foolishness.
And we talked about that last week, how some moms really have such a warped sense of things that they continue to prepare meals for their child. Oh, yeah. Usually for the male child. Okay. Know that this new wife is struggling to learn to
but I don't like her.
But I don't like her.
That ain't the one for my son.
And he didn't marry you.
Okay.
He married. And so there's a
disconnect, definite disconnect, dysfunction junction.
Get you a pet, a pot-bellied pig. He'll eat your cooking. Sorry,
I cannot with you. Here's number 3.
The visual.
We're talking about the 9 signs of a cheater. You don't know anything about them. You don't know where they live. You don't know where they work. It's like, wait a minute, how come? When it comes time to, other than me and you being together, I know nothing about what's going on. I don't know your schedule. I don't know the people. I don't know any of it. And so that becomes one of those signs that you got to start looking for. Because here's the problem. And it's not meant to be a problem. God didn't set it up to be a problem. He put dopamine in us. It's a chemical that is released when we come into relationship, right? And dopamine, there's we talk about the dopamine fog in Dating 101. What it does is it helps people to come together, because otherwise we would probably never like each other.
That's true.
Okay.
You ignore a lot of stuff
because of dopamine. Kim says, I ain't got that much energy to do all that.
Some people get stupid because of dopamine.
If you cheat and go on, let me be, because if I get you, I'm gonna need bail money and lawyer. That part. Some people, because of dopamine, they overlook a lot of things. The famous need to know status. Yes, ma'am. We overlook a lot of things because of dopamine. They're perfect. When you talk to this girl and she met this man and she thinks that he is just the greatest thing since sliced bread, go to the mama, go to the sisters, go to the friends, see what they say, because there's some flaws in this person. But dopamine helps us not to see him, because if otherwise we'd be like, man, I can't deal with that. He'd be burping and farting and stuff, and I'm just not here for that. I just don't know how anybody could deal with this, that, and that. If it wasn't for dopamine, I think that some of us, and the Lord knew it. He knew that there was going to be some things. We would probably have a list a mile long of the stuff that I'm not going to deal with in a relationship. Because y'all know how we are. Hey, Danielle, thanks for joining, baby girl. Right? And so here's the problem, is that dopamine, on the flip side, it causes us to ignore some of the signs.
It's your dope, you mean?
You a dope now. You a dope dealer. And so we have to be careful, because there are those out here that are super charismatic and they know the sciences behind relationships. They don't want a relationship. They just want to use and abuse you, and they know what you need. Give me the number 4s, y'all. There are some people, because they're broken up in a relationship, now they're saying to themselves, I really want somebody in my life. Jada said it. I just wanted to feel good.
Yeah.
And somebody decided that they would come in and they would supply the very thing that I needed, the very thing that I was longing for. Remember, the perfect storm. And now I find myself dealing with this issue. And when I realize it later, have you ever been in a relationship with somebody? You know, I know we're growner now. Growner, I guess that's a word. Was thinking.
Smoking. What was I drinking?
Was I drunk the whole relationship? Everybody else is telling us.
Were you stupid or something?
Everybody said, and they tell us after we break up. It's like, man, I never did like, because he would do so and so and stuff. You're like, he did? Girl, you didn't see that? I know. Why didn't you tell me? Girl, I told you and you wasn't listening to nothing we said. So we just quit talking. We just said, let you go on and find it out for yourself. That's how we do, right? Number 4. When you're dealing with
long periods of absence, I've gone
incognito.
Nose blind.
You said nose blind.
I'm missing
a baby,
in action.
A baby or STD, spiritually transmitted disease, or real. Amen. Danielle said, oh yeah, she's got her hand up. She already know we telling the truth. Long periods of absence. Where are you at? Oh, I got a business trip. You work at the gas station. What kind of
job? Coming out with the new pumps.
Okay. When's the last time you seen him? Oh, he said he was coming. He's missing at every function. We're supposed to go to this wedding together. I've been waiting to meet this dude for 6 months. How come every time it comes up time for me to meet him, he finds himself incognito?
Everybody sees it but you.
But you. It's a problem. Let me see the number 5. She said ghosting, or MIA, missing in action. This is my boyfriend, but can't nobody ever meet him. Can't nobody ever see him. You never get a picture. He's always, okay, well, we'll probably get to that next.
Number 5.
Lies, lies, and more lies from the book of lies. I love it. Honey.
Put to number 5. Here's a little hint. We meet every day at the same cafe, 6:30.
He said, because he have a wife at home. Danielle, listen.
You never date on their turf.
Hello.
We meet every day at the same cafe.
Where that
Some out of the way place on the dark side of town.
where
nobody knows.
In the dark.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
You ain't going to
Nobody know you. We're going where nobody know you or me.
We ain't going to cheer. We ain't going where nobody know your name. They ain't got to know mine either.
They don't even know me.
Amen. Ooh, that's hilarious. I love that.
They know me. They know that I already got.
Exactly.
That I'm in here 2 or 3 times a week with different people. so.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for the 5. Let me see the 6s tonight.
Dating is on
their turf.
On their turf.
It's someplace that's a designated spot. You don't ever go anywhere else.
Never ask, where would you like to eat?
In a
where
booth.
Would you like to go?
In the back.
In the corner.
In the corner.
In the dark.
In the dark. Yeah. Why you got me down on? Why you got me down on download? Why can't you ever see the light of day?
Are you ashamed of me or something?
Okay. She said, movie, Nobody's Fool will give you the best scenario. He on an oil rig. She know all the movies. Sister Kimmy is a trip. Kim says, movie, Nobody's Fool will give you the best scenario. He on an oil rig in the middle of the ocean and you have a bad connection. So no video chat. Lord have mercy. So listen.
Yeah. So I did
my God.
This meme a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
That has this young guy that's doing one of these numbers. And so, the meme says, you're dating a serial cheater because his toothache seems to flare up every time you want to take a selfie with them.
Yo, one place and one place only.
Oh my
God.
Yo.
I bet you this whole Corona thing is probably such a blessing to some of these Negroes and Negresses that are out here cheating. Oh my goodness. Ooh, let's get some masks. We can wear them now everywhere. You can take pictures. Listen.
Yeah, we can go.
Y'all keep on playing though. Y'all know that these women are like FBI agents. They probably got some iris detection stuff that they house. And they can still tell it's you, even though they can't see half your face.
Don't fall asleep because they're going to get a picture.
Speaking of,
opening your eye while you see a picture. You
better get some DNA.
Sorry.
There's some iris detection paraphernalia in the closet back there. You wondering what this stuff is. Okay. Let's see. Danielle says, if you can't post a picture of him on your social media at a lunch date, he got a whole family at the house. Yeah. That is a red flag. Yes, ma'am. I ain't going if I got to hide out. I'll be hiding from you.
Look, while you're dropping the 60s, let me say this. And again, though we're laughing, and some of this is really humorous,
hurtful.
We understand that this is very hurtful to some of you.
Yeah.
Some of you who've been caught cheating, we understand that it's not easy to relive. And especially when you see the damage that you did to someone, it's not easy to deal with it. True. But we do understand that when you embrace it, when you accept that, yes, I messed up. Yeah. I did and this. This was me. And I'm willing to do whatever
I need to do
I'm to throw myself
on the mercy of the court. Yes, God. Yeah. Number 6 in the chat. She said, I am an FBI agent. Hello, that part. We taught y'all really good in here, especially our single. We make sure. I'm like, don't you go nowhere by yourself. You make sure you got somebody that's going to meet you there in the place so you can see what they look like, get their plate number on their car, get a glass and make sure that you got some tape so that you can take their fingerprints. I'm going to need you to have a DNA sample, a hair sample, get all of that before you ever commit to anything. Yes, God, that's what I'm talking about. Let's see. Number 6, you don't know anybody. You don't know their parents. You don't know their friends. You don't know if they got children or not. You don't know their co-workers. It's like, what did you just, you Melchizedek. You have no beginning and no ending.
Prince of Salem. King of Salem.
You have no
Priest of Salem. What are you?
You have this aura about yourself. You came down from the heavenlies and dropped in and wanted to be my boyfriend, my girlfriend. Nobody knows. There's no trace of you anywhere. Are you 007? What is happening right now? How come you? So I want to meet. No, well, you know, all my family. My mama dead.
Crazy.
Look, my mama dead. My daddy dead. My cousins is dead. My aunts and uncles, they all dead. I lost my whole family in a car wreck. Okay, it was an airplane that went down, flight 747, and so all of my.
They were wearing gold and purple.
Okay,
you know, it's sad the way some people and the lies. We didn't even talk about the lies.
Yeah, we're gonna get to
a
it.
web.
Okay.
So you don't know anything about them.
Okay.
And the sevens are in the chat. Thank you
for
putting
the sevens there. You don't know their parents, their kids, their friends. You don't know they go to church, but you don't know their pastor. You don't know their church members. There's nobody that can verify that this person exists other than you.
Must be missing an angel.
Okay, because you done dropped up out the sky. Question today is, thank you for joining. Run, Forrest, run. If you've been dating them for 6 months and you ain't ever even met a friend, he or she is lying big time. That is the whole entire truth. You can't.
You don't meet my friend. They crazy.
Okay. But their phone study going on. Well, who is all these people calling and texting you?
Come on.
How come everybody you so in demand, but don't nobody know you? And I can't meet none of your people.
You cannot be so in love that you're missing this stuff.
Thank you. She said, you better run. You better run. Yes, indeed. Number 7, you've got so many unanswered questions. There's evasiveness. There's silence, there's anger, intimidation, and sometimes you're even accused of being untrusting when you ask a question.
Yeah.
Are they in the witness protection? Good everybody. She said, are they in witness protection? Why is it that there is nobody that knows this person? Do you have a social security number?
You have fingerprints?
Okay.
Yeah, they burned off. What's going on here?
If they fingerprints is burned out, they got to be a drug dealer or something. Listen, you got to be deep undercover to burn off your fingernail, your fingerprints. You got to be. They ain't got a driver's license. Let me see your driver's license. And listen, there are people out here that they will lie to you so much, and they are so convincing.
Yeah.
And when we did Dating 101, and we added stalking. And we also added catfishing because there are people out here, y'all, that they are up to no good. All they want is to swindle you out of your time, your resources. They want to swindle you out of your panties, and then they gone on to the next person. If you're ever on Instagram and someone says, oh, I can do this for you, but I want you to meet me over on WhatsApp. What they're doing is they're taking you from this platform, whatever platform they are on, into another one where they can't be traced, where they can't be reported, where the account can't be flagged. And so you got to know all of these tricks and tools that people are trying to use, because everybody is not on the up and up. Some of us think that everybody is like us. And I need you all to understand that everybody doesn't think like you. Everybody isn't honest as you might be. Everybody isn't out to get somebody else like you might be. Blink, blink. Yeah. Some of y'all is out here wilding out, and you think that everybody else is trying to do the same thing. That's why you're suspicious of everybody.
Come on. And if you get nothing else out of that, get this.
Yeah.
If you get nothing else out of this, get that. That they're going to try to move you from a place where they can be validated and you can find out where they're really at.
Amen.
Because a lot of that kind of scamming is going on.
Come on. Good hair, good body. She says, worse yet, when you go out together, do several women stare you down like you're with their spouse? I bet you Jason Collier.
Oh my goodness.
Yo, they had an infographic on him. Is this woman the name? This woman the name? This one has this child. This one is over here. This one is a girlfriend. This one is a fiance. Y'all
chart.
You can get my WhatsApp at all.
Schematic chart.
I said to myself, this dude is busy. And how do you do it? He's the police chief. He ain't just your ordinary police officer. He's the chief.
Charisma.
Right? And he's a minister. Some of y'all think that every minister's all right. Oh, they're good. They're the man of God. You better watch. you better ask some questions. Some
cons in history.
Ike.
Have been called
Men of God. And so you've been wanting one, and some of us, we put ourselves out there like, I always wanted a preacher. I always wanted a pastor, someone to be in my life. I just want somebody that's in ministry because I just feel like it's going to help me to be closer to God. You better get your relationship with God together for yourself so that you can have some discernment. Some of you got zero discernment. He come up to you and say, I'm a preacher, and you just believe it. You done fell all over him. Now you ready to get married, and you don't even know the dude got 5 wives in different states. What? Number 8, you don't know where the relationship is going. You don't know. You have no idea. There is no future talk.
If you ask, look, where do you see us
in 5 years from now? Well, let's just, I just want to let it play out. And see.
Let's just kick it. See where it takes us.
What? You've been kicking it for 20 years.
Your clock is ticking, and she wants to kick it.
You've been kicking it for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. What are you saying to me right now? And listen, the ones that are usually go on that long, it's because they've already gave up the cookies. The man salad has already been tossed. And now they're upside down in that relationship, and they are saying that I put too much in to just leave now. I need you to know that you got to cut it. Okay. Yeah. Kim said, you don't expect people to do what you would do. Check them jokers out. You might find out you just another hole in his belt. Thank you. Another notch. I think it's another notch. But yeah, I'm here for it. Danielle says, please say that again so those deep and delicious saints of God can hear you in the back.
You down there. You back there with the,
do you hear me?
With the hat on.
Okay. You know,
the hats are up front.
The preachers go, you don't hear me, right? I need you to hear us in the back.
The big hats are up front.
Amen. Josh said, reading marriage between the lines, and the man ain't spoke no lines. Come on. Y'all, we got to stop falling for the okie doke. Okay. Here is let me put the number 9s in the chat.
Number 9.
So let me tell the rest of those of you that are here, you may be watching, you may not have said a thing, and we get it. We understand that sometimes that people feel a little bit like, I don't know if I want to say anything right now because I might either get busted or, they'll know that
I'm getting mad and I may say more than I want to say.
And so we want you to know that we're here for you. And if you need us, that you can find us at marriagemakes3.com, or you can go to bit.ly/MM3LINKS. And there you're going to be able to get us on the line for a free 15-minute consultation. We want you to have an encounter session that is going to help you to determine where you are, what you want to do, and where you want to go. Whether you're single, you're married, you're divorced, whatever the case might be, you're going into a dating relationship. We need you to know that we will do whatever it is that we can with the help of our Lord to get you on the right track. We've been doing this for over 50 years between the two of us, and I promise you that we are going to make sure that we do all that we can possibly with the Lord on our side to get you back on the right track. Sometimes the right track ain't together. Sometimes the right track is going your separate.
But that's your call.
Yes.
But we want to make sure that you're armed with the information that
exactly.
you need and the resources that you need to get you where
you need to be.
This is so very critical. And what you get is that you get the two of us.
Yeah.
And we will talk with you face to face just as we are here.
Yeah.
We'll hear you out, your most pressing concern.
Yes.
And we get a chance to clarify the areas that are unclear.
Yeah.
And as well as give you some strategies for going forward.
Amen.
And I believe it's going to bless your life.
There's some of you that are single and you're saying, I want to be married, but I don't know what I need to do.
This stuff is scary.
It can
it's
be.
Not easy.
And so that's why we come alongside of you. There's even the Dating to Destiny kit. Go over to Marriage Makes 3. You'll see all the amazing things that we have there for you. I want you to remember tonight, though, to go and get the State of the Marriage address. It's a free download. You can go on and get it tonight. Download it. Y'all are going to talk about it. You're going to ask yourself the questions. And then when you get finished, you'll be able to have a little bit of a triage.
Yeah.
Okay? You'll be able to triage just like they do at the hospital. right? To see where you are. Are you critical? Do you need to go into the ER? Should you be first on the top of the list, or can you wait because you're just having a little pain in your side, right? But who knows if the pain in your side ain't your appendix done busted, or you're having ectopic pregnancy. And so I need to examine you. And this is what State of the Marriage is going to do. It's going to help you to find the places where you need to get fixed, right? Or work on, and then you're able to do better. All right. So let's see. Kim says, my time is precious and I can't get that back. So if you think I'm about to waste my precious time and energy, you are sadly mistaken, sir.
Miss Denise.
Hey, Denise, how are you, lady?
Hello,
thank you for joining. Danielle says, T.I. and Tiny need this live. Oops, did I say that? Yep, I sure did.
That cat's out the
It
bag.
is what it is. We're dealing with the intact. We're dealing with it all. And so we want to open this stuff up, because here's the problem. When we don't deal with it, we don't discuss it, we don't confront it, it's going to eat our lunch.
It'll keep.
Right. And we're not going to have what we need. Kim is reminding you all that there's a free 15-minute with us on one issue. But if you need some extra time, you can turn your 15 into 45 before, during, and after I do. Go to bit.ly/MM3 links. And yes, I said free 15 minutes.
and most people who
come and get your relationship.
Take advantage of that will tell you that even the 45 minutes or the time that they spend with us is worth far more. And you're going to find that our prices on some of the products are much too low.
Okay.
And I'm not just saying that because we want people to be armed with the information to have a healthy, good, healthy relationship that's going to last, and that's going to make you live longer, make you want to live longer.
We have an opportunity right now. If you're not following us on anchor.fm/GD and me, or you can find us on Spotify. Y'all, please go and listen and download, right? There's a group that we're going to be doing some work with, and they asked us our prices, and we told them what our base level prices are, and they was like, what? So yes, we're not here to kill anybody. We are here because we want to help you. This is a part of the sowing that we do so that our relationship can reap the benefits of it. We're not out here trying to kill nobody. Some of you can't afford to go and pay $200 a session for relationship counseling, but we're here. We're doing it from home. So we streamline some things so that we can be effective for what you need. All right. Before I do, after I do, you may just want someone to mentor you, to give you some insight on some things, even in your own life. And we're here to do that. Go to the link marriagemakes3.com or bit.ly/MM3 links, like Kim said, and get yours tonight. Josh says that friend I mentioned, most of her bridesmaids backed out because they knew she shouldn't marry dude. Oh my goodness. Of course, she admitted later some things before the marriage, but she married him anyway. The saints. Listen, some of us think that we had we messed around and fornicated, or committed adultery, and now we got to marry this person. No, you pregnant. I got to marry them. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Those are not good reasons for us to marry. John said, y'all better tell folk off and repent later. Yes, God. Thank you, Kim. So here is number 9. And we certainly appreciate y'all putting that there in the chat. 9 signs, you're 9 signs of a cheater. The person is not available. Somebody put not available, or just put not.
N/A.
NA. They're not accountable. They're not available. They're not attainable. They're not accountable. They're not available. They're not attainable. They just not. They are the ones during the holidays. During the holidays, the special days. It's Valentine's, and on the 16th, you get a box of chocolate. It's Christmas, and on New Year's Eve, New Year's afternoon, because you know that wife or that husband gonna want them to be at home. They are going to want to be at home with their family, and if you're the side chick or the side D, I need you to understand that you're not going to have them available to you. But if some of them can afford Gucci, so they can afford counseling with MM3, come on. He said that dang autocorrect rip folk off and repent later. John, you are a mess. They're not available on holidays, on special days. It's your birthday. They can't come and be with you. It's their birthday. You got to wait till the weekend or some specific time or date. You got to wait till the holiday is over because they got to go on the clearance aisle. Some of them going to the 7-Eleven and grabbing y'all some stuff.
Well,
oh, we don't have 7-Elevens here.
Rite Aid.
They're going to the Rite Aid. Okay.
That little 7, there may be a 7-Eleven, that little corner store.
Here's the thing. You really know that this person is not for you is when you call them and it's an emergency. My child is sick. I need to get to a hospital, or I have a flat tire and I need somebody to come and help me, to bail me, or whatever. They are not available. We fall and you can't begin. They are not available for your emergencies.
That's right.
Right? And if they're not available for an emergency, I was in an accident and they're telling you that, well, they're going to see if they can come. Listen.
Wow.
You just may be dealing with a cheater. Those are the 9 signs that we have for you guys tonight.
Yeah.
So listen, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow, and we will start talking soon. I mean, but there's just so much information when it comes to cheaters that it's hard to get to the people that are doing this thing in a right way, in a good way. And listen, just because there's been cheating or infidelity in your relationship, it does not mean that it has to be over.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
We need you to get this thing down in your shanana. That just because that person stepped out or you stepped out, that the relationship does not have to be over. So many people that have been married 30 and 40 and 50 years, you see them at the end, that everything is just wonderful. It's just beautiful. You're like, I want our marriage to be just like that. You don't know that during that 7th and that 15th year, that he was out doing whoever, whenever, regardless. You don't realize that when that person in year number 5 was dealing with that ex that came back into the picture, and they had to get past all of that to get to that place called happy, loving relationship again. Hey, infinite blessings. Thank you for joining. So listen, guys, we certainly appreciate you all. We thank you for coming in and being a part of marriagemakesthenumber3.com. We want you to know that we have several things available for you at the link bit.ly/MM3 links. We talked tonight about the cheating chronicles and entanglements and entanglement. What are we dealing with? Do you need us? You can find us there. Get you a free encounter session. Go and get the free downloads for before and after I do. Josh said, I'm your side piece, not your main dude. I don't do emergencies. I keep you happy. The main dude spends money on you.
Wow. Amazing.
Listen, okay? What a tangle web that we weave when at first we practice to deceive.
It's Cheating Chronicles, inspired by Hank Williams' Sr. Hit song from back in 1953, Your Cheating Heart Will Tell on You. The conversation continues tomorrow night, and hopefully by the 14th, we'll get around and we're going to be giving you some clues for helping you to get past the cheating.
Yeah.
So if you have cheated before, if you're cheating now, we're going to give you a way out. We're going to help you to move past the cheating.
Yes.
If you have been a victim of a cheater, we're going to give you some real solid information to help you get past that. And that's where we want you to be. We want you to be happy, healthy, and whole.
Yes.
In all things and blessed.
All right. Yes. So listen, guys, thank you so much for being a part of #GD and me of marriagemakesthenumber3.com. We'll be back tomorrow night. We ask that you continue to like, comment, and share. Follow us on YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on Anchor. You can check us out on Spotify. We're on Spotify. As a matter of fact, wherever there's a podcast, you can find us.
Tell Siri, hey Siri, would you find me a Marriage Makes 3 podcast? Siri will find me.
Yes.
You can ask who else?
Alexa.
Alexa will find us for you somewhere.
Yeah.
All of those apps. Google will find us.
Right?
That's right.
Because we are everywhere that you want to be.
Check us out on YouTube, as you said. Go by and like our page, like our YouTube, like some of those, and be a help to us. If you like what we're doing, like these things.
Periscope needs you to know that they are going to be going away in March, but Twitter is going to take over. So follow us on the Twitter scope. All right. We appreciate you guys, and y'all know what we always say here.
God loves you, and we love you. And ain't a thing you can do about it up in here. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We love you guys.
Love you.
Have a great night.
Pastor G, have an iPhone.
Kimmy. Yes.
No, ma'am. Sorry, if you step out, we are done for good. Sorry, I don't share. When Drew and I first started dating, he was in another state. But when I told him I was in a car accident, he was here by 8 a.m. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Love you guys. We'll see you all next time.
Good night, friends.